we had to prepare for it and to get the group to get to know what Magis is, because some of them they didn't know already. They were just coming from other parishes or from their schools, so we had to prepare them for that. But we managed. When we were in Poland, I went to an experiment for arts, so we're actually literally doing physical arts, like training how to speak, how to arts as in acting. So this was different for me, but I equally liked it because the place was not so easy. There was a lot of mosquitoes, and it was also challenging to feed old frail people and to bath them, also to help them to go to the bathroom. That's not something that young people are used to. For me, I guess it was okay, because as a Jesuit, we do experiments in the novitiate. But for the young people, I could see that the experience already was something new to them, and it challenged them. And now today we're giving feedback that they want to do more, and I think that's being Magis.
The thing I love the most, and everyone who went to Panama knows about this, was my experiment. So I went to Mono Congo. It's a protected rainforest, and we basically worked. We're trying to help in building a school and a church. So the place is distant. You actually get a bus and then get a boat, and then you get there. So we worked and we were building the foundation for the school and the church and everything.
I enjoyed most my experiment, where I was at a convent, sort of like, where there would be sisters who were there, and they would take like young girls and send them to school starting from an early age. Then as they grew older, then they would become like sisters and they become nuns. So we were there, and whilst we were there, we were also painting the house. So it also tells you a lot about service and serving the community and serving people.
When we actually got to Panama, I found myself, engaging with other youths from all over the world. For example, the group I was staying in for my experiment, we had people from Mauritius, with people from Malaysia, China, Honduras, Paraguay. So I found myself talking to them and interacting.
What I enjoyed the most is watching how other people pray. At the same time, they were also watching how we pray. I would like to say that everyone from Central America got involved in our singing. They were like, you sing so loud and you dance.
I enjoyed the Magis experiments, where we were separated in different groups and were taken to the communities which we were living in, and taking part of the work which they do themselves. So we were painting, and I like painting.
I was leading a group which went to an old people's home. It's called Hogar Santa Luisa. It's quite in a relatively poor place, and so we're taking care of the old, and we're all mixed from different countries, and so we began the work, cleaning the house and painting the wall. That was very fun, because we had to scrap their wall, which was very dirty, and then prepare it for painting, and then paint it, and then write the name, and then we put our Magis logo there. That was very deep. We were sharing every morning, reflections in the morning, and also in the evening we would meet for sharing and Mass. I was the only priest there, so I had to celebrate Mass in English and French. And I think the whole experience was just good.
We went hiking, we went fishing, etc. But what I loved most about Mono Congo was there was no electricity or internet. So there was the calming effect, there was the pause, there was the, oh, now it's actually just me, it's Rachel now. There is no Rachel on WhatsApp, like, oh, hi, how you doing? No, it's nothing like that. It was, a calming effect, a pause time, me and what's going on, and the prayer. It was just the 16 of us and the 40 other people we had there, and it was calming, and I loved it so much.
The fact that we were there for them and would just go there and smile, to make them very happy, and it would also make us very happy that we were there for them.
They are loving people. Each and every person I would meet, it felt like I'd known them in another life or somewhere else. Simple good morning, a simple smile would make you feel at home, even though you cannot directly communicate with them.
Not only where we are accommodated in the families that we stayed in, but everywhere where we went. And at some point, I got back home where I was staying, and my parents were going to town, and my phone was off, and I stayed outside. And I had 6 neighbors that offered me food. They were asking, do you want to come into my house? Do you want something to eat? So when my parents came back, I had about 4 plates of food and 6 drinks.
A lot of people really liked our Shona songs, and that was pretty cool.
So for me, Magis is just being a better person in action, not in word. So
To me, Magis means more service, more companionship, more love for others.
For me, Magis means being more in terms of the 3 elements of Magis. That is service, companionship.
So for me, it's basically about doing more than I usually do. When we now started the World Youth Day, I managed to see the Pope, and that was very exciting. That was like the highlight of my time in Central America, as well as attending the Mass with the Pope and receiving his blessing.
Seeing the Pope for the first time, being very close to him, it was a very deep moment in my life, and I felt like crying. I think I cried for a moment, but it was an amazing experience. It was spiritually uplifting.
it was something that, made me aware of God's presence in the sacrament, and I really loved it. And I loved the music that came with it. It was more spiritual and connecting than religious. I loved the connection that we got, through the sacrament. And yeah, it was the highlight for me for WYD actually.